Mental Health Mondays with Kate, episode 4. Welcome. Glad you're back. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. Today we are doing part 2 of trauma, focusing specifically on secondary trauma, which is, in short, people who are exposed to traumatic events via exposure of somebody who is directly impacted. So, this is commonly counselors, doctors, nurses, teachers. Teachers, be aware as you hear things, but also parents, friends. We are easily exposed when we are supporting a friend or someone else in our life who is enduring a trauma and they tell us what they've been through. Sometimes we hear those things and we are able to simply be present and listen and empathize and offer support. And when we step away from the conversation, we're able to remove that the impact of that story from us. Then there are other times when the story is so impactful, when things are so significant that our brain begins the process of, this could have happened to me, or this might happen to me. I need to be extra careful that this is not going to happen to me. I have to protect my world. And so then we engage in that stress response. Our body ignites that, all because we have been in conversation with people or witnessed the story in some other way, whether that's media or some other way. Those are the moments that we can get exposed to secondary trauma. So I do want to be clear about that. Absolutely, watching media, social media, news media of traumatic events can result in exposure to secondary trauma. So take that into consideration as well as you expose yourself to videos and other things. So what do we do about secondary trauma? The beauty is the technique I taught last week can apply to secondary trauma because your brain doesn't care. The moment your brain begins to believe that you were or are in immediate danger, your brain doesn't care that it's not really happening to you. So we have to engage in relaxation. We have to engage in mindfulness, staying in the present moment, reminding ourselves, I am right here, right now. I am safe. I am not in danger. My life is not at risk right here, right now, in this moment. So lots of deep breathing, diaphragmatic breathing, in through the nose, out through the mouth, slow. So last time we talked about the 3-2-1 technique of using all of your senses, and that is to pull you out of past moments and bring you into the present. So one of the ways that we can deal with secondary trauma is our breathing to calm that down. So that's just deep breathing. You want to inhale for 3, hold for 3, exhale for 3. If you can build up to 5, even 7, those are good amounts of time as well. As you do that, you will feel your body head to toe begin to relax. So do that a few different times, however many cycles it takes to feel your body relax. And then you need to debrief, whether that's writing in a journal, talking to a trusted friend. When talking with people, whether it's a friend or a professional, professional, this part doesn't matter as much, but if you're talking to a friend, try not to spread the trauma to them. So to talk openly and honestly with your friend, to just say, I heard a story today that was really hard on me. I just need that reminder from you that I'm okay, and that while I can't say nothing is ever going to happen, I can say that I can do everything in my power to make sure that it doesn't. And if something does happen, I have a support network, I have a faith, I have all of these things that I can lean upon for help if something traumatic should happen. With your therapist, let's hope that you are seeing a professional who has their own pattern. People ask me that all the time as a hospice worker. What do I do with all this stuff? I hear and witness a lot of difficult stories. And so what I do, in addition to the mindfulness and the deep breathing, is I do have a trusted circle with whom I can debrief. I have a supervisor who I can debrief with. I also do a lot of journaling and have tools that I know signal to my brain, all done for the day, and all done with this story. So at the end of each client's story, I have a little ritual that I do to kind of sign off for a minute, to remove myself from that story, and I wait to document for a little bit so that I don't have to go back in. Documentation does help as well for me, simply because it's required, so I have to do it. But it helps me because it is the reminder to myself that this is someone else's story. I am but a witness to it, and my own story is not repeated in theirs. So, secondary trauma, is it real? Absolutely. Can you get PTSD from secondary exposure? 100% you can. If you feel that mindfulness techniques and relaxation techniques are not sufficient, that means you have a higher exposure to trauma and it is time to seek professional help. And let me just remind you, that is a perfectly acceptable and healthy thing to do. This can occur watching your child endure trauma, by the way, parents, can result in secondary trauma for you. So there is no shame in seeking help, because if we let things go too long, it takes a toll on our body, in addition to what it's doing to our mind. So that's just a real short little introduction to secondary trauma. What do you want to know more about? Leave a comment. Have another topic. I forgot to look what I'm doing next week, so it'll be a fun surprise. I have it written down. Couldn't tell you what it is. So yes, I will be here on Labor Day. Quick little video on Labor Day. So have a great week. Leave a comment if you have a future topic you'd like to see done on Mental Health Mondays with Kate. And I will see you next time. I see you. You are valued. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.